My name is Frédéric Prégent. I'm the CEO of Taxelco. Taxelco is a company based in Montreal. We operate more than 1,600 cars. For us, Microtransit is really the possibility for the taxi industry to be a replacement of buses, like small, big, medium buses. Because when you have a taxi that is running the same line as a bus, most of the time it won't even be full and it's a taxi. So imagine when the bus is doing that, the cost of exploiting that is way expensive. So how we operate the microtransit here is that we have some taxis that are doing bus lines, and people are just booking their transport with us, and the taxi will go when needed. So the taxi is not like running when it's not needed. And the other thing is that the taxis can pass on a more frequent basis than the buses, because there's more cars and it's less expensive to do it. So the general idea is, if you have like 5 customers on one dedicated line and they book at the same time, then they're going to use the same taxi depending on where they're picked up and dropped off. And so we're going to use the vehicle as its maximum capacity. And depending on the contract, we're going to use like sedan cars or minivans or even microbuses that can provide those type of services. The reason why I always tell everybody that a taxi is the best way to provide services is because of the flexibility of the whole business model. You don't have to go into contract for years, even for months, even for weeks with taxi drivers. You only need to have a certain amount of drivers to be able to deliver with the appropriate car. The general process for a customer when they enter like the collective taxi or the microtransit taxi, let's say with EXO, which is one of the public company that we work with, the contract specification is that they can call us or they can book through a website. So the website has been provided by Moovex. So it's a website where they log in on it's an appendix to our website, where the customer book depending on the route that they need with the hours and everything. They enter some information, because we need some information on the customers, like names, and we have those public transport cards, so we need the numbers as well for the invoicing. So they complete that on the website. What happens is that it's generating a trip in Moovex, and then depending on what's happening like the day before with the planification, then it's gonna see if there are other customers that are booked on the same line at the same time. Moovex is gonna aggregate those customers, and they're gonna create a route, and then the route will be dispatched to a driver, and usually it goes through iCabbi and the driver app. And in the driver app, and I think that this is the major improvement that has been made in the last year, is that the new iCabbi driver app is making it possible for drivers to report a lot of information in those on those trips and routes.
So this is it, and other customer, no, there's no other customer. And I'm gonna go in the end. They say, if you be late for the lady, no. If there is something in the traffic, something happens, nothing happens. I was at the time, everything was perfect. So aucun retard, no late. So I'm gonna send it. But now you say 59.50, you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Bingo. Now after they're gonna send it to me back. This is other one they give it. I think this is you. I have to bring you to the airport. So this is you.
This is all going back to iCabbi system, and some information are sent back to Moovex as well. Then from there, the route is done, the customer is transported. Then all the information is brought from Moovex iCabbi to our system, which is Odoo, with the ride manager, with in charge of producing the invoice for the customers. And usually that's where it gets complicated for our team, is the requirement for the invoicing is usually different from one company to the other, and some are requesting very specific data. Now the new app makes it easy to have any information that we need on the trips. And then so we produce the invoice for the customer, and then because we need to pay our drivers at Taxelco, we pay our drivers 3 times a week. So we need to import that, generate payments for the driver, and make sure that the amounts are fitting between what we charge the customer and what we pay the driver. And then we generate that, and then the rest is financial stuff. We're very excited about this new phase of the integration with Moovex and iCabbi with Move AI, because one of our biggest contract is not really automated on our side. And the general idea of Move AI is the perfect solution for us to operate that contract with more automation and more optimization of what we're doing. There's a lot of planification in that contract. There's a lot of people involved, and usually the errors are always made by people. And in the past few years, we've noticed that when we rely on reliable tech like Moovex, and which Move AI will definitely offer, it will make a very more efficient contract to have on our side. And it's definitely the biggest contract that we have with the Paratransit company in Montreal. So we're really looking forward to move that contract on Move AI, so we can automate it a lot more than it is as of today, and even raise the quality of services along the way. I think the microtransit is definitely a market that is just there to take for our industry, not only in Quebec, not only in Canada, but definitely in the US as well, because it's a really efficient way to transport people with a very cost effective. So I think that's probably with Nemit the 2 markets that we need to keep an eye on and invest to make sure that public company don't make bad decision that will continue with them for many years. Just put forward the fact that the taxi industry is there to provide services that are more flexible than investing in buses and all of those concrete and stuff.